Hey everyone, what's up? It's your girl Shaye back with a new video. I uploaded on this channel in like a long time. Don't remind me. But there's something I want to talk to you guys about, since this is kind of like a safe haven, just kind of like sit down and talk about anything kind of channel. So today's topic is going to be about my pieces for speech and debate. If you guys do not know what speech and debate is, which I know a lot of you don't, I really hate explaining it because there's just so much factors that you can explain to it. But basically there is 3 subcategories to speech and debate. You could do debate, speaking events, or acting events. When you hear speech and debate, you just think of debate, right? And speech. But there are acting events, which I do. I have done both debate and the acting part, and I will never do a speech. But I am a good speaker, and I can get a speech together and kind of do that, but that's not what I am. Basically, you pick some acting events. There's a thing called humorous interpretation, dramatic interpretation, prose, poetry, program oral interpretation, and all this stuff that you can do. I'm not going to go into them, but if you do want to learn about them, you can look it up on the NSDA website, or simply go to YouTube, which you are on right now, and look up like humorous interpretation. Bubble Boy is a great one. Jake Wallach, shout out to you. Basically, humorous interpretation is my favorite event. It's 8 to 10 minute event. They do give you a grace period, which is an extra 30 seconds after the 10-minute mark. You prepare a piece, which this is my whole like script here. I have to memorize 8 pages. Not a big a deal for me. And then there's this thing called black books. I have 2 of them, and you put your pieces in here. And that's what kind of like I want to get into today. So I have 2 pieces. One's a poetry, and one is a POI, which is a program oral interpretation, which is you take songs, articles, newspapers, drama, like scripts that you could perform, all this stuff, and put it into a thematically linked program, and you have to have an argument. So I'm going to get into those here in a minute, but I'm not going to give my pieces names or articles or anything out, just in case if there's someone in speech and debate watching it, I don't want you stealing my stuff. So let's start with my poetry. My poetry is something I am very passionate about. This is my poetry right here. It is about mental health leading to suicidal thoughts and how we can prevent that, and we're not doing enough to prevent that. So basically this piece is about, I start with the movie Ouija and how she tries to summon her dead friend who killed herself. That's how I start with, and how she basically like relates to not doing enough for her friend and not knowing the signs of her mental health issues, you know, leading up to her suicide. So I start out with that, and I go into more poems of like anxiety talking and how it can take over your body with like an overwhelming sense of doom. Then I go in with statistics about how many people commit suicide a year, and then I go into bullying, why not to kill yourself, getting a phone call saying your friend has killed himself and not being able to help them when you were actually going through the same thing and they could have just talked to you. And then really good poetry, as in like, I felt a funeral in my brain, like stuff like that, you know. Yeah, it's really good, and then I really like the ending of it. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up to you guys. Another reason why I wanted to bring that up to you was I found this book when I was at the flea market, and I like flea markets. There's a lot of cute vintage old items I like to collect, so yeah. This friend left me, and they told me that he died. This is by Lisa Edmonds. She actually lives in my town, so that's cool. But I like it. I used it in my thing. I'm wanting to get in contact with her and perform my poetry for her to kind of like, because she recently lost her son, who passed away, and she's been in over 25 years in mental health counseling, and so I don't know if I could get a hold of her and perform this piece with her. I mean, not with her, for her. I hope that could like kind of like shed light on the situation. I am very passionate in the pieces I perform. If the piece is not 100%, I don't perform it at all. I scratch the piece and start over. That's why it takes me forever to get my pieces ready, and every summer I have took 2 months out just to prepare for pieces to get ready for the year. But I recommend this book. So basically, I want to talk about suicide. So this is my intro. You have to write a 30-second intro. It could be to a minute long. of your piece. So basically I put like, suicide rates have increased nearly 30% in the last 20 years. These statistics released the same week Kate Spade, a tremendous entrepreneur, had taken her life. And here's the thing, we don't know why either. Like, that's crazy. The sad truth is that suicide is the third leading cause of death for youth and young adults, which is crazy. Mental health is a topic in which parental advisors don't like to acknowledge. That is true. I feel like a lot of teenagers go through these things, and the reason why it leads up to suicide is because the parents don't listen, and they just want someone to listen to them, you know? And some parents are like, that's crazy, mental health don't exist. Well, maybe because you haven't been through it, but your child is going through it. At least be there for them. Like, you know, be a parent, okay? If you're going to grow up and not be a parent to your kid, don't be a parent at all. Keep your legs closed and keep your dick in your pants. While the exact cause of depression and anxiety isn't clear, research suggests that most mental disorders develop at least in part because of chemical imbalance in the brain or an underlying genetic predisposition. So you can't just shake it off. However, with help and support, we can conquer and help those who are suffering mentally, and you could possibly save life in the progress. A poetry to spread mental health awareness because I know someone else like me is silently suffering in the inside and don't know how to seek help. So help us seek it. That's what my intro is. So I kind of like put real world factors in my relation to it. I really like this poetry. I did tell my coach that this poetry is something that connects with me as a person. So when I perform, it's going to be 100% passion, and people know that. But I don't care because I want people to know that, you know. I have had suicidal thoughts since 7th grade. I've been through a lot in mental health and stuff, so it's very interesting for me to talk about these things with other people who are experiencing it, and like why we experience it, why do we think about it. And at the time, like, you're explaining to people like, oh, I'm depressed because of this, I'm in depression because of this, I have suicidal thoughts because of this. At the moment you tell them that, you think, this is ridiculous, like, why, like, there's no point into having these, you know. And then like while you're experiencing the moment, like, I don't know, so it's so weird, like you can't explain the moment you're actually feeling in it with yourself, by yourself, and when you explain to someone it sounds crazy, like something like that. That's why a lot of like mental health and stuff, but I do really like the fact that psychologists, you know, they dig in deeper and do understand, so that's pretty cool. I kind of do want to study psychology too, but there's a lot of other things that I'm more passionate about. Alright, so moving on to my POI, program oral interpretation. So this piece is basically about something that happens every single day, more than stranger kidnappings, is parental abductions. Yes, parents do kidnap their children more than strangers do. So basically this piece is about it. When I read my intro to my coach, she freaked the flip out. But parental abductions is all too common, but we usually think about the stereotypical kidnappings in which children are abducted by total strangers. However, children are at a far greater risk from their parents or other relatives. The child can undergo physical trauma, sexual assault, or worse, murder. The part, you guys won't believe this, because my father, who was a young boy in the 1970s, was almost victim of infamous serial killer and rapist John Wayne Gacy, who sexually assaulted, tortured, and murdered 33 teenage boys. Now his story will be told today along with the other victims. I added my dad's story into that. Yes, my dad was born in 1964 in Rochelle, Illinois, a small, like, very small city, so my dad is a northern. Gacy started murdering, and his whole, like, murder spree was in the 70s, early 70s, late 70s. So my dad was very young, a teenager, youth, when he came in contact with John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy actually invited him to a party on the following Saturday. My dad wanted to go very bad, kind of like hang out, and John Wayne Gacy gave my dad his address, and he begged and begged for his mom to let him go, but his mom was a very popular woman in the town, and she knew everyone and did not know him, was like, you're not going to a stranger's house. My dad didn't go, and a month later, John Wayne Gacy. Yes, I'm glad I'm here today. Thank you, my dad's mom. Thank you for saving him and letting me be born. Those are some pieces I wanted to share that are like near and dear to my heart. And also an announcement, I'm turning 18th this month. And I'm getting a tattoo, actually, like right here. It's the EKG sign. EKGB, I don't know, something like that. It's the little heart monitor wiggle signs, you know. I'm gonna get that like right here, basically to show like my whole like story, and you guys will get to know more in depth of my whole story from 7th grade into my life now. But that will be in a actually a short film I'm getting ready to direct and film and stuff, and that project will be out next year on my real channel. So if you guys want to subscribe to my real channel, it'll be down below. This is just my backup. If you guys have anything you need to talk about but have no one there to support you, I will support you. Please comment down below. I have such an open worldwide view that I will help you no matter what the situation is. Like, I don't judge. So make sure you comment down below what you're going through. I'll help you out the best I can, give you advice. I will try to reply to every single comment on this channel, guys. If I'm really late, I'm sorry. I have so much stuff to do. But yeah, I'm glad I got to share my pieces with you guys, and hopefully I can like do a video of me performing them. That would be awesome. Show you guys my awesome acting skills. Yeah, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, hit the bell to turn on my post notifications so you guys can get the help you need. Please subscribe, and please comment something down below. Make sure to spread love, not hate, and join the Stoner family, guys, on my main channel. And I love you guys, and be strong.